I'm Shauna, and I'm the host of the Adelaide Cottage podcast about knitting, sewing, hand-dyeing yarn, and today I have a little bit of drop spindling to show you. So thank you so much for coming to check out my podcast. If you're a new viewer, welcome. You'll find a little bit of everything here. I'm somewhat of a newer knitter. I've been doing it a little over a year now. But I feel like I'm catching on pretty quickly and just began knitting socks for the first time. And if you're coming back, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. And I have a giveaway to announce because I have reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is incredible. To me, I feel like that's amazing because 1,000 of you take the time out of your busy day to come and hang out with me and see what I'm up to and see what I'm knitting, and you get to know me a little more each week. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll announce that giveaway a little bit later. First, I'm going to show you some knitting. I don't have any finished objects. I have a few whips. Announcing my very first KAL in celebration of the 1,000 viewers or subscribers, a few acquisitions, and a few thank yous at the end to other podcasters. So this is episode 10, and I am recording from Buffalo, New York, which is where I was born and raised. I live here with my husband and my 2 young children, and yeah. First, I want to talk to you about Harry Potter. Because I am a knitting podcast addict. I love watching them. And I don't know if all of you Harry Potter lovers can be friends with me, because I'm admitting right now that I have never seen a Harry Potter movie or read a Harry Potter book. And I have all of the movies in DVD form that my brother-in-law lent to me to watch, and I still, I just don't know if I'm going to like it. And I really do need to just give it a try. But for any of you that love Harry Potter and know all about Harry Potter, just imagine watching these knitting podcasts where everyone's talking about Harry Potter and Harry Potter knit-alongs and Molly Weasley and Weasley sweaters and I don't even know. I'm just lost. That's basically what I want to say. Can you just imagine if you had no clue anything about Harry Potter? I know some of you don't watch it, but I just feel so lost and I feel so left out. So I think I'm just going to have to watch it. It's crazy. But it looks really fun. I wish I could participate in your fun because I'm jealous. I really am. So before I get into my whips, I just wanted to tell you what I've been up to over the last couple of weeks. I started going to a pottery class, and I can't remember if I told you last time I podcasted that I was going to do this. So I found a local shop in the area, an instructor that teaches, and I've been wanting to do it forever. So I figured, why not? Let's give it a try. And it is much more difficult than it looks. It looks like you just get your hands wet and you sculpt this clay and it turns into something beautiful. But it's not like that. It takes a lot of work and practice. So I just had my second lesson. It's 6 lessons once a week. Or once a week for 6 weeks, I should say. And at the end, you can decide if you'd like to take the advanced course, which is another 6 weeks, or if you're just happy with the beginner course. So I think I'll definitely need the advanced course to make something that I would actually hang up in our house or put in our house. But it's a lot of fun. It's very relaxing and meditative, and yeah. So I've been doing that, and it's lots of fun. I come home a mess full of clay all over the place. And let's see, today's a bit of a hard day. It's my late mother's birthday. For those of you who don't know, we were very, very close, and she passed away this past September of anaplastic thyroid cancer. It took her life 13 days after her diagnosis, so it was very, very quick. But she did a lot of suffering in that time. So I'm getting lots of flashbacks today of her last days with me, and seeing her suffer like that, and it's making me really sad. And then I picture her, on her birthday every year. We would just shower her with love, just like every other day, but birthdays even more, and Mother's Day. So I figured I would film a podcast today, and do a few other things, run some errands, just so that I'm not thinking about it too much. So get a little bit distracted. Okay, whips. Whip number 1. Let's see, what should I show you? Okay, I'm going to show you my Waiting for Rain shawl. The last time I was in the first tiny bit of the garter section, and this is a pattern by Sylvia Bobilvia. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it already, but I'm knitting this on my Carbons interchangeable US size 5 circular needles. And at first I was just gonna make it all one color. This color is the Wool Barn Roses and Honey colorway in her luxury sock base. And then the more I was knitting it, Sylvia Bobilvia posted on Instagram a beautiful picture of this shawl knit up with some striping and with the lace panels in a different contrasting color. And I thought it was so pretty. But I didn't have a pattern to do that, so I decided to just do the lace panels in a different color. And at first, I think last time I showed you that I was going to use the Patton's Croy sock yarn in like a taupey gray color, but I started knitting the lace section with it, and it was just not looking right. It was kind of too thick, and I just didn't like the way it was knitting up. So I ripped the lace section out and started knitting with this Mountain Classic Elite Veil yarn. And this was in my stash, and I don't remember the colorway, but it's really pretty, I think. So I knit the lace panel up in that. And it's just like a short row section. You know how lace works before it's blocked. It's a mess. But just so you can get the idea. And then there'll be another lace section down here, and then I think one more. And then the designer posted that she is now including the pattern for the one that I saw with the striping as well. And it is so pretty. I can't get over it. I can't stop thinking about it. So it's like an add-on. If you purchase the pattern, you'll get that pattern as well. And so I updated my pattern, and I'm definitely making another one of these. Absolutely. I love it so much. It's a pretty big shawl. However, I have not knit on this in a while because I've been working on a test knit for Molly of a Homespun House. I'm working on her alpine shawl. And this has basically been my knitting project for, when did she send it to me? Saturday evening, really late, I think, or Friday evening. And we have 2 weeks to get it done. I'm not going to give too much away, but she told me it would be okay to kind of give you a peek. I'm not giving away any secrets. I'm knitting these on my Knit Picks Sunstruck interchangeable circulars, US size. I'm not going to tell you because I don't know if that's something I should say. Pattern will be out soon. It's very beautiful. So here it is so far. These darn stitch markers, they're heavy. It's pulling the whole project down. So this is what I have. And the plum color is Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the alizarin colorway. It's a single ply. There, that's showing up really good. Single ply, and there's like flecks of metallic blues and purples almost. I really can't pinpoint. It's just beautiful. I really like it. Here's the cake. And this is my first time knitting with Madeline Tosh Merino Light. I know. I'm learning. I know a lot of you have knit with this before, and I really, really like it. I really love single ply yarn. So yeah, and then my other color is the Baby Alpaca, Drops Baby Alpaca Silk in the purple gray colorway. And it's color number 1760. So I have a few balls of that. And the nice thing about this shawl is it's a stash buster. So it just requires 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn in contrasting colors and just about 400 yards of each. So I had both of those, so that was really nice. And then this will go on to be, there's a bunch more of this striping, and then there's some pine trees at the end, which is really, really, really sweet. So yeah, that's where I am on that. But you know how when the rows get really, really long, and you feel like you're making no progress at all? That's what I'm starting to feel like. So I'm going to have to stick a progress keeper on there so I can see just how far I've come. But I'm really, really enjoying that design. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay. My very first sock, my Hope sock. I caught second sock syndrome already. I know. You're disappointed in me. I swore I never would. I felt really bad about it. But I was excited to cast on something with my new Addy Turbo Sock Rockets. My first time using them. Chelsea from the Legacy Knits podcast was raving about them, so I thought I'd give them a try with Magic Loop. And I do like them. They are a lot slipperier than the Carbons, of course, because they're an all-metal needle. Almost too slippery, I think, because all of my stitches came off of my sock already once. All the stitches came off of the needle once. I was able to rescue them, but I was like, what the heck? Like, that's never happened on any of my projects. You know, as long as you kind of pull the project down and don't rattle the bag too much, but it just slid right off. But I do like them. I'm knitting this. This is a plain vanilla sock, and after watching Katie of the Inside Number 23 podcast, who I love and adore, she showed a 1x1 twisted rib, which I thought was really pretty. So I gave it a try. And this is in my Candy Crush colorway. So it's mostly turquoise with specks of all different fun colors. Pink, purple, blue, yellow. Here it is all caked up. What size am I using? Okay, so for my Hope sock, my first sock, it was a blueberry waffle sock, and I felt like the gauge came out too loose. I was using a US size 1 DPNs, my Carbons, and then I bought these Addy Turbo Sock Rocket, so I thought, well, I should probably go down a needle size. So I went with a US size 0, and they're knitting up pretty nice. I do love the gauge on here, but they're tiny, itsy bitsy stitches. Yeah, but I really like it. And this is in one of my sweet little project bags that my cousin Dana made for me when we went on our knitting retreat. It's kind of like a makeup bag size almost. It's perfect for a sock project. And a little star zipper pull. So after I cast that sock on, I was feeling like, how the heck can you get second sock syndrome when you just started knitting socks? Like, how pathetic are you? So I did cast on my other Hope sock, but I only got like 3 rows in. But it counts. It counts. It totally counts. So these are on Carbons, DPNs, size 0 US. Nothing to really show you. But this is the Wool Barn soft blue colorway on her tweed base. Tweed sock base. And then the last work in progress, I really like that. Who was talking about that? Legacy Knits. I don't even know why I bother saying it, because I'm sure you all have watched them and love them just as much as I do, but if you haven't seen their podcast, please go and watch it. They are a mother-daughter team, and they're super funny and just fun to hang out with. But they were talking about how non-Americans, or people that don't live in America, mostly in the UK, speak English, and how nice it sounds in their accent. And I have to totally agree. I think it sounds so beautiful. And my name kind of sounds funny coming out of mouths of those where English might be their second language, or they just have an accent, because they say Shona, something like that. But it's cute, it's funny. But I do really love the verbiage and the accent and how they pronounce everything. Anywho, I digress. My Cozy Memories blanket. I only got 2 squares done, but I want to show you anyway. So, I just added these 2. So this is my Adelaide Cottage yarn in the Candy Crush colorway. And this one is Blush from a Homespun House, which came in my kit, my Cozy Memories kit. Love that color. So yeah, it's very slowly turning into a blanket. See? It's going to be a while. Luckily, spring is just about here. We have had the nicest few days. Today's rainy and gloomy, but the last few days have been sunny with this beautiful breeze, warm, almost 70 degrees, which in Buffalo at this time of year is insane. It's usually snowing right now, badly. So that was really nice. So we put the swings back on the swing set outside in the yard, and the boys played outside all day. We had all the windows open, and that fresh air is just, it's so refreshing. But the mix of Evan, my smallest, being outside, running around and getting fresh air and playing all day made him so tired that when we sat him down for lunch, he fell asleep while he was eating right at the table, which is not like him at all. It's usually really hard to get him to take a nap. So I thought that was funny. So yeah, those are all my whips that I have to show you. A couple things I want to cast on really, really badly are, I was watching Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick podcast. Love her. Last night I watched her for the first time, and I enjoyed listening to her so much. I enjoy what she's working on. I enjoy her yarn choices, and It's funny that you talk about neon, Jilly, if you're watching, because usually, like in a garment, I probably wouldn't wear like a shawl or something with neon colors in it. Maybe, I don't know. If it was subtle enough, I probably would, but in everything else, I love neon colors. I remember when I was a child, because I was born in the 80s too, and I would get a new box of crayons. The neon ones always just struck my eye, and I enjoyed looking at them so much. And highlighters and everything neon. Neon yarns, like I would love for socks and stuff, but probably not garments. But anyway, I just wanted to mention you're not the only one. It is super cool. I have some things to show you that I purchased. But first I'm going to show you the little bit of spinning that I have. Okay, so I showed you on one of my first 2 episodes that I was kind of teaching myself how to use a drop spindle with some Rolags from Nicole C. Mendez. And I worked on it a little bit, and then I started getting into dyeing yarn more and sewing more and quilting and now pottery, and I feel like I'm involved in so much stuff right now, which is awesome, but no specific craft is getting enough attention at this point. So last night I was up, I straightened up my craft space and organized some things, and I saw my spindle and the Rolag was only half spun up. So I was like, you know what? It's quiet. The kids are sleeping. Jason is sleeping. I'm just going to sit down, have some tea, and spin. Did you hear that? Spin. So I'm using a really cool drop spindle by Erin Makes Stuff on Etsy. It's basically melted colored pencils. And there's like blacks, grays, silvers, pinks, whites. Love, love, love. And here's what I have. So I know this is not good spindling, but I'm proud of myself that I finished it. And towards the end, I'm going to show you in a second, but towards the end of the Rolag, I started to get the hang of drafting more to like a fingering weight, because I'd like to add a few of these as squares in my blanket. But this particular spinning project, it goes from lace weight to super chunky or super bulky. But here it is. See, you can see like areas where it's humongo, and then areas where it's so tiny that it's like spinning up on itself. But like I said, I caught on more at the end, and I think I'll do better with the next Rolag. I still have a few left. And then I think I'm going to have to go shopping for some more fiber, probably from Deb of Fondant Fiber's website, because I really love what she has, and I've heard that she's super, super sweet. So yay, I spun. It's a lot of fun. It really is. I was thinking about getting a wheel, but I think I'm going to kind of learn on my spindle first and see how I like it and learn more about drafting, as much as I can about drafting and things on that first, before I invest in something so expensive as a spinning wheel, because they are very pricey. So, done. Done like dinner. Water today. My throat's bothering me. Okay, I'm going to get into stash enhancement or acquisitions, and then I will show you, I'll announce the giveaway, the KAL, and yeah, that's it. So, let's see what we have here. I'm so mixed up, guys. I'm sorry. So I went to visit my local yarn store, which I haven't been to since before my surgery. They had a cancer support group there prior to my surgery, and I went to it and met all the women there that were knitting, and they were so supportive through my recovery process, but I wasn't allowed to drive for a while after that, and I had my young son home with me, so it was hard to just go to a knitting place and knit with him. So I went there, was it like a week ago, maybe a week and a half? And unfortunately, the owner wasn't there. There was somebody else there that I'd never met, but I was like, just let her know that I stopped in. But she didn't have any indie dye or indie dyed yarn there, which I was a little disappointed, but she did have a good selection. She had this skein of Allegria, which I couldn't remember where I saw this, and then a friend told me it was Lara of the Fawn Knits podcast. She really likes this yarn. I love this. Look at that. So this is the Allegria, I already said that. Manos del Uruguay in the Macachines colorway. A9453. It's 75% superwash merino and 25% polyamide, 445 yards. So yeah, look how pretty that is. And then I purchased another one of the Val Mountaintop Classic Elite yarns. It's 70% baby alpaca, 30% bamboo. And it's just a really pretty gray color. This is like a light fingering. Color number is 6403. It's just 236 yards, 50 grams, so yeah. I placed an order for some, I'm going to really butcher the pronunciation of this, so somebody will have to correct me. Bergère de France. Bergère de France. Did you like that? Gumi 50. And this is the Imprim Prune colorway. And I bought, how many? 2 of these. Love that. And then I bought 4 of the same yarn in the Imprim Beige colorway, which I'm in love with. So there's like peaches and taupe, beige, red, brown. And then I finally, or actually before that, they were nice enough to send me one of their probably close to being outdated editions of their design book. And it has like every single one of their yarns that they carry. So there's all different samples of each one, which is cool because it's a yarn that I've never knit with, so I'll be able to kind of browse through and see if there's anything I'd like to try. Let's see, are there patterns in here too? No, it just shows you a bunch of projects and what kind of yarn they used. So that was fun to get. And then I caught one of the Wool Barns updates, which I haven't been able to do in a while. Maya of the Wool Barn. So sweet, love her. I got this beautiful skein of her alpaca sock yarn in the sand colorway. So it's 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere, 436 yards. Look at how pretty that is. Don't know what I'm going to knit with it. Probably a shawl. Probably a 2-colored shawl, I'm not really sure, but I think it's super, super pretty. Danny of the Little Bobbins podcast and I are thinking about co-hosting some kind of a shawl knit-along in April or May, so that will be super fun. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're kind of thinking about it and what we're going to do. And then she was sweet enough to send me 3 of her mini skeins in colors that I would seriously buy skeins of all 3. She is like one of the best hand dyers that I know, indie dyers. She can master having vibrant colors, but yet they're still so soft and pretty. So this one is Tweed Sock in the rose colorway. And she sent these for my Cozy Memories blanket because she knows that I'm working on one. This is Tweed or Twist Sock in the Pebble Beach colorway. Love that one. I feel like the light's messing with it. There. And then this one is Luxury Sock in the Grape Twist, which is another one of my, like I would buy skeins in all of these. Pretty, pretty. And then she sent a tea, lemon and ginger, which I can't wait to try, and a cute little note. So thank you, Maya, for those little extras. That was very, very thoughtful and sweet of you. So my cousin purchased one of these sock rulers from the sockruler.com, or just sockruler.com. There's no the. And Denise is the founder and CEO, and she was like raving about them. She bought one for a friend of ours, Rachel, and I saw her use it at the knitting retreat. So basically, instead of counting rows on your sock or measuring with a tape measure, you just use this fun tool, and you put your sock around it and measure. And then I was watching Sarah, the Fiber by Design podcast, who is one of the O-Loops girls, had one of these, and she said it's one of her like favorite knitting tools for sock knitting. So I went ahead and ordered it. I can't remember what I paid, but it was very inexpensive, maybe $11 or $12. But yeah, I'm a newer sock knitter, so any tools that can help me not have wonky looking socks, I'm cool with it. So that's my other toy. And then I also touched on the fact that I wanted to start making my own soap for at our house to bathe and shower with, and also wool wash. And so I have all the supplies, I think I mentioned already, all the oils and all that good stuff. But I was waiting on purchasing a soap mold, a wooden one that has like a bottom that just slides right out for convenience. And they're kind of expensive. They're like $40. So I asked my husband, I was like, hey, Jason, you've been woodworking. What do you think about doing this? So I just pulled up a random picture that I Google searched, and he built one for me. It took him like maybe 15 minutes. So I can finally get started. So this is what it looks like. It will hold 2 pounds of soap, and then the bottom slides out so that your soap just comes out nicely. So yay, my soap mold. I'm such a dork, aren't I? My 8-year-old son, Aiden, came home from school and saw this, and he was like, Mom, what is this? And I told him, and he's like, now you're making soap? Why do you need to make soap? You're already knitting, and you're sewing, and you're dyeing yarn. Why do you have to do soap? And you're doing pottery. He just kept going on, and I'm like, you know what, honey? You need to do what makes you happy, and that's what I'm doing, and, if it's 1,000 things, then it's 1,000 things. So yeah, I thought that was cute, that he recognizes that I'm into all these crafts. So before I announce the KAL and the giveaway, I would like to just say a quick thank you to Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast for saying lovely things about me, and same for Sarah, one of the O-Loops girls. Very, very sweet. My most favorite thing about podcasting, and it's even funny that I'm podcasting because back before I even opened my shop, I think, I was like joking with Molly of A Homespun House. I was like, it would be funny if I started a podcast, because at that time I was a very monogamous knitter. It overwhelmed me to think about having more than one thing on my needles, and now I just want to knit all the things. But I was like, hey, I'll start a podcast and I'll be like, hey, my name's Shauna, and look, I knit 2 rows on my my shawl, and see you next week. And that was funny. And then all of a sudden I just started knitting more things, and I had more to possibly show you, and here I am. But one of my favorite things is meeting other knitters, not in person, obviously, but virtually through forums and messages and Instagram and Ravelry, and watching other podcasts is one of my favorite things to do, especially at night when my kids go to bed. It's just a way to knit together without being together and getting to know each other. And I feel like I've made friends doing that, and it's really fun. And I love that so many new podcasts are coming out to kind of join in on the fun. So yeah. The KAL that I'm talking about is the Trailing Ivy Shawl by Alana Dakos, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I saw the release of her design on Instagram the other day, and I thought it was so sweet looking. It would be a perfect springtime shawl. It's got literally like trailing ivy leaves down the sides, and it looks like it's almost pleated a little bit, just a very subtle pleat. And I thought that would be a really fun springtime shawl knit along. So if any of you would like to join me, that would be super fun. I'm going to open a chatter thread and a finished object thread in the group on Ravelry. And I forgot to mention how you can find me. Ravelry and Instagram are both Adelaide Cottage, and same for the group. If you just search Adelaide Cottage in the groups tab on Ravelry, you'll find it. And she was generous enough to offer a discount code for anybody who's participating. So you'll get 20% off of the pattern through May 1st. And I think that we'll start the KAL on April 1st and go through May 31st. So that'll give you 2 months, which I think is more than enough time. It doesn't look like a huge shawl at all. But the discount code is TIKAL, so TIKAL. And again, that's 20% off through May 1st. So yeah, start looking at yarn choices and check out the pattern, purchase the pattern, and knit along with us. So that's the KAL. I'm very excited about it. And there will be a prize. I don't know what it is yet, but there will be one. Okay, so the giveaway, the 1,000 YouTube subscriber giveaway. Yay! I am giving away before I get into this, if there are any like independent makers out there that want to, donate anything for this KAL prize, as well as join us, feel free to contact me and let me know. So I'm donating for the giveaway. Journaling your knitting is becoming more popular, and I don't do that, but I do journal my Cozy Memories blanket squares. So I write down what kind of yarn it is, what colorway, and where I got it or where it came from, what project I used, etc. And I've seen on a few podcasts that people are starting to journal all of their knitting projects, kind of like their Ravelry project page, but in a tangible form, like a notebook or a journal. So I thought it would be really sweet to get another one of these, which I use for my Cozy Memories blanket. It's a really light pink with white polka dots, and the inside is this gorgeous craft paper. So it's perfect for washi tape, which I'm also including to match. And 2 skeins of Knit Picks Felici in the Tea Party colorway. So you can knit some pretty spring socks with it. All you have to do to enter is go on my Instagram profile Search for the picture of the giveaway prizes and tag 3 of your knitting or fibery friends who might be interested in winning. And that's it. So just tag 3 of your friends, make sure you like the post, make sure you're following me. And that's all you have to do. And I think that I will keep this open for, I don't even know what day it is, to be honest with you. It's March 10th. Yes, Mom's birthday. See how that distracted me? That's awesome. So I'll keep this open until figure Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll put all those details in the Instagram post. But that way, if I podcast on Tuesday or Wednesday next week, I'll be able to announce the winner. So, yes, KAL, prize, that's it. That's all I got for you today. It was really nice to catch up with you. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I'm up to, and I hope that you all have some sunshine in your life at this time of year, and lots of knitting time and time with your families. So I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.